Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. This is a really interesting, cool garden, but most noteworthy, besides the beautiful agave that you just saw there, are some agave relatives. They're called Furcraea macdougalii, and these are native to Oaxaca, Mexico. And in this case, we can see what they can look like when they make their trunks and they're all trimmed up. Look at that, spectacular. And beautiful, lush, dark green foliage with this amazing linear, reaching toward the heavens architecture. It's really big. You can see that's not a miniature house there. That's a full-size regular house. So you can see the scale. The foliage looks to be maybe like 8 feet long, each one of those leaves, I guess you would call it. And the whole plant probably has a spread of about 14 feet, 12 feet. So what a spectacular thing to put in your garden. It's absolutely drought tolerant. You can plant this, water it in for a year or so, then walk away from it, and it would be absolutely fine. What else is there to say? Native to Oaxaca, Mexico. It's hardy down to probably 27 degrees at least. I'm in San Luis Obispo. It does get cold here. So there's an arbutus marina right there next to it. And you can see over here, this one hasn't been trimmed yet. So this is sort of the normal growth pattern. And, not nearly as, it's still cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's not nearly as cool as when you trim those trunks up. Makes you feel like you're Alice and you're in Wonderland walking by it. That's how I feel right now. So we have these plants for sale. We don't have anything that big. You might be able to get something that big if you were dead set. But imagine having 2 of those framing your driveway. They get 20 feet tall. These are about 10 feet tall. Maybe a little more, maybe 12. They get quite a bit taller than that. Imagine having 2 of those at your entrance right here. Now, I think since I'm here, I want to show off this garden a little bit. Why not? Look at the Santa Barbara sandstone they have. This stuff, apparently, I always thought there was a quarry somewhere. But a friend of mine told me, no, when they do big excavation projects, they dig up all this rock, and then they'll actually have a quarry company come to wherever that job site is and just carve them out. And or they did it for years and years and years and years. So, this is the native Santa Barbara sandstone, and it is such a beautiful stone. What's weird is you don't see it anywhere really outside of Santa Barbara. I'm in San Luis Obispo, as I mentioned. Here's a horse tie-up. This is an old sign. This is where you tie your horse up. That's how old this is. But yeah, back in the day, I guess they probably imported these up the coast a little bit to Santa Barbara or to San Luis Obispo. I've never seen these in the Bay Area, the stone. You'd think stone, it's pretty easy to move. Throw it on a truck and ship it just about anywhere. But for some reason, it's really localized down here, and it's really ubiquitous all through Santa Barbara and maybe a little bit in San Luis Obispo. So that's the cool thing about the Santa Barbara sandstone. It's just, it's such a beautiful, and it's all kind of roughly hewn. So it gives it a real nice character. Look at this one here. This one has just a big lump on top, which is kind of fun. The other noteworthy things about this garden is the brickwork. Look at that brickwork. Is that called a herringbone? It's on edge. It means the thick part of the brick is facing down, and that wastes a lot of brick to do that. But it makes for a really classy look. So remember that when you're doing your brick, and look at the detail on the stem walls. That's quite a bit of extra work in brick cutting. So this place really, turns out this is the Kimball House, built in 1900, I see up there. Really beautiful structure. So many fun things about it. Okay, what else are we gonna look at this garden? You've got your Diamondia pathway. Look at that pathway. That's Diamondia, it's native to South Africa. And it has completely filled in. You have to water it quite a bit to make that happen. Little stepping stones, and that stuff is really fun to walk on barefoot. And just some nice plants, really well done. You've got a crepe myrtle out here, a little citrus, got your lantana, got your agave, blue glow, getting ready to flower. See it? See the flower bud right there. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I mainly wanted to show you oh, look at the blue podocarpus hedge. It's in the shade. You can't really see it so much, but that's a nice little touch. And of course, you've got the Santa Barbara stone wrapping the whole property. I'm not sure when they did that work, but this stone wall looks like it's been here for a really long time. Like I said, probably 1908. It's been here, and it's leaning a little bit here and there, but it gives it the character. But here's a good lighted section of what the Santa Barbara stone looks like. They obviously custom cut this piece. But I mainly just wanted to show you how beautiful Furcraea macdougalii related to agaves can look, especially if you have a house from 1908 in San Luis Obispo. But it would look good anywhere if you ask me.